Ed Bukey, Head of Engineering for Working Eye. I work on the project management side of the development. I've been working with KnubiSoft for the past 4 months on the Working Eye platform, which is a platform and a company that's supported by IBM as part of their UK Client Engineering Initiative, which is a program to support startups with their architecture, their design, their business strategy, architecture, infrastructure, etc., and developing business partnerships. Working Eye is a platform designed to fill a much needed gap in careers guidance for teenagers. Working Eye is a platform that will help teenagers with their education choices at high school from the age of, say, 13 or 14 in the UK for their GCSEs, then ultimately their A-levels, and then ultimately their university choices. Working Eye uses their profile, their interests, their disinterests, the kind of environment they would like to work in, what motivates them, and aspects of their personality as well. And this is all AI driven by IBM Watson. We needed to find a company and outsource it to a company that was flexible, that showed initiative, that showed resourcefulness. We were dealing with a company based in India for a while, but we found issues with work culture, communication, values, as well as the culture of the organization in terms of the decision-making process. I've been familiar with KnubiSoft for over a year, and I was familiar with some of their projects that were available online. KnubiSoft have covered everything from gaming to fintech to education, and it was the education aspect and the gaming side that attracted us, because there is going to be an element of gamification involved in our platform. And of course, KnubiSoft developed for iPhone, for Android, for tablet, as well as web. I'm also considering developing for smart TV, because it is going to be a voice chat driven platform ultimately. So for us, KnubiSoft ticked all the boxes. We initially contacted them with our projects after running into issues with the company my predecessor was dealing with. And I'd had the conversation with their business development manager, Anastasia, and our objectives, our goals, our vision was fully understood without question. And they were able to come back to us with a statement of works and project plan within 3 days, which impressed me, but much more than just a project plan. KnubiSoft being a Ukrainian company, that they are very much aligned with European values. They're very solutions focused. And the fact that there is a war going on in Ukraine right now, that hasn't hindered the development at all. The team have been, from a work perspective, unaffected by the war, and they've been able to deliver as well as focus on our requirements. It's just been a fantastic experience working with KnubiSoft. They're more like friends and family than a company that we outsource to. My CEO and COO were slightly concerned with the fact that there is a war on, but once they had the initial meeting with the KnubiSoft team and saw what they were able to deliver in terms of a proposal and a statement of works, and also much of KnubiSoft's team has been relocated to, I believe, Western Ukraine as well as Poland. So they were in environments where they were able to deliver the work on time. And my COO is very impressed by partnering with KnubiSoft and the Ukrainian company. And he constantly says in our meetings, Ukrainian developers are now my favorite developers in the world. And he's worked in tech for a fair number of years, and he's worked with projects that were outsourced to various other countries. KnubiSoft is a well-oiled machine. One thing about technology, you always have a backup plan or some kind of disaster recovery. There has been no delays or any kind of impact on the project delivery. KnubiSoft have adapted very well to the situation in Ukraine. They've been 100% focused on the client needs. And we were given an initial scope of 7 weeks to complete the project, whereas the Indian company had given us a timeline of 4 months. KnubiSoft's team showed flexibility, vision. They came up with ideas to do things in a slightly different way, be able to reach those delivery deadlines much faster, and they delivered our initial version of our MVP on time and within budget. Naturally, there's always going to be some changes, and and we've had to make a few design changes. So we're now just in the last week of the changes, which the team are able to deliver very, very quickly, as well as be flexible to our needs and be able to adapt on the spot and deliver the documentation for us to review very, very quickly before we can proceed with those final changes. The key objective was to develop an MVP for investors so they could see working version of the Working Eye platform, which is currently only a web-based platform with a chatbot embedded in the platform. The full scope of the project is to be able to address all available job options and career choices which are officially listed within the UK government's National Careers database. Currently, our main deliverables are to help teenagers with career choices in engineering and art and design, and to be able to showcase that. Other key deliverables is the ability to show short videos on specific career choices and job options. So again, it's AI driven, it's also very video driven, and KnubiSoft were able to come up with suggestions in terms of how we could improve the delivery of the MVP to combine functionality with video and with AI and with machine learning and with a chatbot. Well, the team suggested to do a slightly cut down version of our MVP using a different technology, and we initially planned on using a NoSQL platform, and so they changed the way we thought about our architecture as well. So I'm very happy with the way KnubiSoft works. Communication is absolutely great. Both from a linguistics perspective and a technical perspective. I have seen a lot of empathy from the KnubiSoft team. I would highly recommend KnubiSoft for any kind of projects, whether it's an AI project, an app project, a web project, a fintech project, an education project. The team have a lot of enthusiasm, they have a lot of passion for what they do. They basically love what they do. So for them, it doesn't come across as work or a tedious task. And so what they deliver will be to a much higher standard than most other companies. Yeah, they treat each project like their own baby. They don't just treat you just another client that they can get out of the way. I'd highly recommend KnubiSoft as a company. You have a long-term partnership. Happy to recommend KnubiSoft to other startups and even big companies who want to outsource their solutions. And I've already recommended KnubiSoft to several